Hello? Thanks for joining us again on the channel. This one's been on my radar for a while, and now, thanks to a friend who got his hands on it, I finally get to share the experience with you. Before we get started, feel free to check out the discount link in the description and the pinned comment. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer had been eyeing electric bikes for a while and finally took the plunge. Unlike many who see these bikes as strictly for city commuting, our reviewer lives in a suburban area where they're becoming increasingly popular. Several factors led to this client's decision to purchase this scooter. Price, power, and availability were key. The timing was perfect, as this client had a trip planned and wanted to test out this scooter beforehand. Being a folding scooter, it fit in the back of their SUV, though it initially drew some skepticism from their spouse regarding space. Luckily, it all worked out. Assembly was quick, unpacking took the longest. This scooter weighs a fair amount, which is understandable considering its build. A pleasant surprise was the inclusion of a phone holder and a chain lock, complete with its own set of keys separate from the scooter's ignition keys. Our reviewer recommends investing in mirrors. The LCD screen displaying speed and other data occupies one side of the handlebars, while the gear switch and phone holder take up the other, leaving little room for traditional mirror attachments. Handlebar end mirrors might work, but the comfort grips on this scooter make that difficult. Instead, this client plans to mount a camera on the back of the seat or rack. The lights, both front and rear, are impressively bright. It took some adjustment, but now this scooter is a blast to ride. Initially, throttle fatigue was a concern on longer rides, but the pedal assist feature solved that problem. Once underway, you can remove your hand from the throttle and let the pedal assist take over. Even when you stop pedaling, the scooter maintains the set speed level. The reviewer reached speeds of up to 26 mph and believes it could go even faster. Battery life is excellent, with a full charge achieved in about 5 hours, slightly faster than advertised. On vacation, they rode about 20 miles and would have G.
Cool, let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer received their new electric bike just yesterday, and right off the bat, the biggest challenge was simply getting the thing out of the box. It was packed well, to say the least. Assembly, surprisingly, wasn't too bad. Even with no prior experience, our reviewer managed to put it together in a couple of hours. The bike actually included a basic toolkit and even a tire pump, but this client ended up using their own power tools, which definitely sped up the process. There was a minor hiccup with one of the brake sensors. It needed some adjustment to allow the motor to run smoothly. Our reviewer suspects a possible need to bleed the brake a little, but is wisely opting to seek professional advice before messing with the hydraulic system. The frame seems really solid and the welds look to be of high quality. The fenders are sturdy and the lights and reflectors are a good addition. The rear rack is almost a necessity, especially when trying to maneuver this beast of a bike. Speaking of which, this thing is undeniably big and heavy. It's more like driving a truck than a car, and the turning radius isn't great. However, that powerful motor more than makes up for the weight. The battery fits securely, but the charging cable feels a bit flimsy, and our reviewer would have preferred a more robust connection. The controller sits neatly tucked away, already connected, so no need to fiddle with that. The first ride was a bit of a learning experience. Weighing over 300 pounds, this client was concerned about the motor struggling, but those fears were quickly put to rest. This bike has serious power. The initial launch from a standstill requires some getting used to, but once that motor kicks in, be prepared for a burst of assistance. The throttle is very responsive and has plenty of torque, so a gentle hand is recommended. There was even a minor spill on that first ride, prompting a quick trip for a helmet, always a good idea. After that, confidence grew quickly.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer already owned a pretty hefty e-bike, the kind that can really fly, but they were on the hunt for something lighter and more importantly foldable. Speed wasn't really the main concern this time around. The goal was portability, something that could easily squeeze into a compact car, and this scooter definitely delivered on that front. It's lightweight enough to be manageable and fits perfectly in their vehicle, even with some modifications to the car itself. The known speed limitation was something they were already prepared for, so no surprises there. Our reviewer did take off a star, though, due to the pedal assist feature. They found it a bit clunky. It takes a few rotations of the pedals before the motor kicks in, and when it does, it's a little jerky. This happens both when starting out and while already pedaling. Apparently, you can avoid the jerkiness if you maintain a perfectly even pedaling rhythm, but this client prefers either turning the assist off entirely or just using the throttle. Despite that minor gripe, they absolutely love the overall look of the scooter. They've made a few personal modifications to it, but even straight out of the box, it's a good-looking machine. And most importantly, it does exactly what it was purchased to do. After owning it for a couple of months, they've concluded that if they had to make the purchase again, they absolutely would.
If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.